Hello dear YouTube viewers, welcome to Chef Salim's Recipes channel. In this video, I am showing you how to make the delicious Alinazik Kebab in all its details. The eggplants I use are quite large, plump, and meaty, very advantageous for this recipe. But if you have regular sized eggplants, you can use them comfortably as well. I make a few holes on the eggplants with a thin knife and place them on a baking tray. Now I leave them to cook in the oven at 180 degrees for about 40 minutes. While the eggplants are roasting in the oven, we start preparing the meat. In this recipe, I will use beef. There are about 6 kilograms of meat here, and I cut all of it into large cubes. I don't cut them too small because in Alinazik Kebab, it's important to feel the meat in the mouth. The larger the meat pieces are, the better the flavor comes out. Meanwhile, let's briefly talk about the history of Alinazik Kebab. Alinazik Kebab is one of the most beloved kebabs of the Gaziantep cuisine. According to legend, it got its name when one of the Ottoman sultans tasted this dish and said, "Elegant, such a delicate meal." At its core, there is a base prepared with roasted eggplant and yogurt mixture. Then it is topped with meat cooked in diced or minced form. When the soft eggplant, garlicky yogurt, and flavorful meat come together, it becomes a truly magnificent dish. Now, we will cook the meat so soft that it will fall apart the moment a fork touches it. First, I place the chopped meat into a large pot. At this stage, we'll do a pre-boil, a short cleaning process with boiling water. This is very important to remove excess blood and residue from the meat. I add boiling water to the pot and boil the meat for about 5 minutes. I carefully skim off the foam that forms on top with a spoon. This step will ensure the meat cooks cleaner and more clearly. Now I remove the meat from the water. Watch, I'm showing you this stage step by step. I take the pre-boiled meat cleanly from the water and transfer it directly into the pressure cooker. Now it's time to add flavor. Into the pot, I add the following ingredients in order. Salt, soy sauce enhances the color and flavor of the meat. Ground and crushed red pepper adds mild spiciness and color. Ginger, a fresh and aromatic touch. Vegetable seasoning enriches the aroma of the meat. Black pepper, cumin, and crushed garlic. A bit of vegetable oil. And 3 whole onions. I peel them and add them whole so we can easily remove them after cooking. After mixing all the ingredients well, I add boiling water on top. The water should be just enough to slightly cover the meat. Now I close the lid of the pressure cooker and leave it to cook on medium heat for about 45 minutes. I check the eggplants. Once they are nicely roasted and become soft, I take them out of the oven. The ideal texture is when the skin peels off easily and the inside is fluffy like cotton. Meanwhile, I start preparing the yogurt. I take about 2 kilograms of strained yogurt and place it in a strainer. The excess water needs to be drained from the yogurt. This way, it will have a thick texture and won't become watery. Now let's prepare a bechamel-like sauce that will give texture to the yogurt and eggplant mixture. I add some vegetable oil to a pot, then add flour. I roast the flour nicely, stirring constantly. Once the smell of the flour comes out and it starts to change color slightly, I gradually add boiling water. Stirring constantly, I achieve a smooth consistency. Then I add a pinch of salt and a little sugar. I set aside the bechamel-like sauce I prepared and let it cool. Now we peel the eggplants that came out of the oven. I easily scoop out the insides with a spoon. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to give it a like and drop a comment below. Let me know what you think, or if you've ever tried making Alinazik Kebab yourself. And of course, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more amazing recipes every week. İstersen bu mesajı sesli olarak geçebileceğin şekilde. I collect all the roasted eggplant flesh in a bowl. Once the peeling process is complete, I wanted to taste it warm. I take a plate and put some roasted eggplant. I drizzle salt, lemon juice, and olive oil over it. Even like this, it's a magnificent flavor. Definitely try it. Now we move on to preparing the main mixture. I add the strained yogurt I had set aside to the bechamel sauce. I also add a bit of olive oil and mix well using a whisk. I chop the eggplants slightly with a knife and add them to the yogurt sauce I prepared. Finally, I add a bit more salt and pour the mixture into a serving tray. I gently fold the mixture from bottom to top to achieve a homogeneous consistency. Now our base is ready, both delicious and perfectly textured. I cook the meat on low heat in the pressure cooker for 1 hour. The result? Soft like Turkish delight, it falls apart the moment the fork touches it. Now we will enhance the texture and flavor of the meat even more. I drain the excess water and place the meat into a wide pot. At this stage, I use powdered demi-glace sauce. I add the sauce and boil it for a few minutes, then adjust the salt. Thanks to this sauce, the meat won't dry out and will gain a much richer and intense flavor. Now let me show you the meat up close. Look how soft and appetizing it looks. We are now moving on to the final touches. I take some butter in a pan. To prevent it from burning, I also add a small amount of sunflower oil. When it starts to foam, I add a bit of crushed red pepper. It gives a beautiful color and adds wonderful aroma. I slowly pour this sizzling oil over the meat. Its sizzle and smell are truly mouth-watering. Finally, I sprinkle a bit of thyme on top, and now we move on to the serving stage. I spread the yogurt and eggplant mixture we prepared on the base of the serving plate. I add plenty of meat on top, and finally, I drizzle a bit of the meat's own sauce. And here it is. Alinazik Kebab is ready to be served. It looks amazing, smells legendary, and tastes like a true feast. Bon appetit. Yes, friends, that was our recipe for today. Don't forget to try Alinazik Kebab. I'm sure you'll love it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the Chef Salim Recipes channel. See you in new recipes. Bon appetit. Tabii, işte videonun sonunda izleyicileri yorum yapmaya, beğeni bırakmaya ve abone olmaya teşvik eden bir kapanış metni. Doğal, samimi ve izleyiciyle bağ kuracak şekilde İngilizce olarak. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. I love hearing your thoughts and questions. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to Chef Salim Recipes for more